Hello, hello, hello. I am Tiana Michelle, and I'm coming on here. Usually my nights are Thursday, but I am on here on a Sunday night, and I hope that you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Um, so I'm going to introduce myself for you all who don't know me. I am Tiana Michelle, a serial entrepreneur. Um, I have Bella Lux, which is now House in the Shade. We're in the middle of a whole revamp for that business, and it's a beauty business. So we're going to be dropping those products at the end of the year. So be looking out. I have Empower Society, which is a organization for people with Down syndrome and other abilities. I also have a mobile app, and it is in your Google Play and your Apple App Store, where I empower you, send empowerment messages at 6 a.m. every morning. It also is a directory of services for families of individuals with disabilities. So if you know someone who's looking for services in their area, um, it should be listed on there. If not, you can actually contact me directly. And there are people, because I actually now have a small team. Your girl is coming up, of individuals who actually are putting more resources in the app, because the app is going to be, when I tell you, it's going to be international because of the team that I'm going to be working with. Like, I'm excited though. I'm really excited. Y'all don't even understand, because I birthed that mobile app in that organization in 2019 with my sister, who actually passed away in 2020. And to actually see things transform is really, really amazing. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. We also do a supply drive, which we're gearing up for. And I actually am accepting donations. So if you have physical school supply donations, and this is for families in need who have children with disabilities. If you have physical school supply donations that you would like to give, please contact me. Also, you can go on our website if you want to know more about Empower Society. The website is empowersociety21.org. So if you want to learn more, if you want to donate, if you want to get involved, because we do need volunteers. If you want to get involved, you can reach out to me, email me, contact at empowersociety21.org. I also am an empowerment coach, and I have empowered people in their relationships and dating and life and all types of situations, even helping people through grief, through my own experiences, through abuse, through all types of situations. So if you are looking for that type of service, reach out to me. What else do I do? I have a lot going on, but your girl has these conversations every week. And last Thursday, it was a lot going on, so I wasn't able to come on here last Thursday because there was a lot going on. But this conversation tonight is called Fall in Love with the Process. Hold on. The process of becoming who you are. And so I came up with that because I've been undergoing my own transformation. And there are plenty of people that I talk to that are actually going through different transformations. But I've been going through my own spiritual journey, weight loss journey, business journey, because things have shifted and changed, and I had to switch gears, and now I have people that can help. I'm excited. I'm excited. Your girl is excited. What else? So there's a lot of different things. Also, I didn't even mention, I'm a human rights committee chair for an organization that deals with people with disabilities. I am also on the board of directors for the National Association for Down Syndrome. Your girl is busy in the streets. Also on April 22nd, I will be doing the Best Buddies Walk, which is something that I did with my sister for 5 years before she died. And so I'm actually going to be a part of the Best Buddies Walk. So if you would like to come help, register to walk, create a team, you can do that. I put the link in my bio. So you will be able just to click it and go there and register. And if you want to find out more about Best Buddies or you have any extra questions that you want to ask me, child, go ahead, do it. I'm happy to answer questions. So, falling in love with the process of becoming who you are, who you truly are, who God intended you to be. Like I said, I came up with this topic because I'm going through my own transformation. And it has not been an easy one, I will say. It has been one that has had ups, downs, twists, and turns, child. And it's okay. And we have to embrace that part. Like, we think that our lives are supposed to be so perfect because we're looking at somebody else's journey, and I talk about this on my previous lives, or we just have in our mind where this is just going to work the way that we want it to work. Now, that does not mean that the end goal is not going to work out. It just means that you got to go with the flow. You might have to change certain things that you're doing. You might have to implement some new things. What happened in the old season that worked for your business or for you may not work in this season. You have to embrace the different changes that come along with your process of becoming who you are truly meant to be. So, and you can't allow other people, and this is the other part that I realized in different parts of my journey, even before this journey right now, but in different parts of my journey in the past, when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to operate, like when I created my first business, Visionary Creations, that was a whole event planning business, and I had so many people like, why are you doing a business when you went and got a degree? You should just go find a good job. Now, had I listened to them, I wouldn't have experienced the journey of being a business owner and the pain and the twists and turns that come along with it. And I did get discouraged. I got discouraged. That business was open for about 4 years. And then I wound up closing the doors because I was overwhelmed. I was a one-man show. I ain't had no help. Your girl was out here like, somebody help, SOS. But I was doing everything from the website to going to get the business, right? Because that was a whole process where I was going to like different hotels and stuff like that. I was on all these different bridal websites, and because they actually have different sites for business owners for different things. So like Wedding Wire, and what was the other one? Because they changed the name. It was quite a few. And then I went to all these networking events, and then I was doing events, and it was quite tiresome for your girl. But like, when I think back, that journey and that process was a beautiful one because it taught me so much about myself. Mind you, your girl was in school getting her master's degree. So stack that on top of that. That was work. It was work. And I was working. It was work. So I didn't see, I just was looking at the end goal. Like, I want this to be successful. I want this to look like this. I want to have a brick and mortar. all of these different things. And then here's the thing. When I first started that business, I was supposed to have a whole like business partner, and it fell through, y'all. So if your plans are not going to go according to what you think, but fall in love with that process because it's there to teach you something. And don't try to fast track, because a lot of the times we get impatient, we try to fast track, or we listening to other people who are like, they have their own, way of doing stuff. And then you have people who have never constructed anything that's trying to tell you how to construct what you got going on. That part. So it becomes a distraction, and you wind up getting discouraged. And it's like, it winds up making you change what you've already had in your mind. It kind of like bursts your bubble. And so now you're questioning everything. You're like, is this truly what I should be doing? Is this, the life that I'm supposed to be creating for myself? Like, it's not going to look perfect, but you're going to question a lot of things when you are surrounded by the wrong people, when you're listening to the wrong people, and you don't have people that are in your corner cheering you on. You really need that when you are making transitions, when you are really turning into the person that God intended you to be. It's not going to be easy, because you're going to have so many people that are going to try to talk you out of stuff. And that's the part, like, it's so crazy how negative the world is. And I talked about this in another live. It's so much more negativity than there is positivity, which is the reason why I do what I do. It's the reason why you see me post quotes or scriptures or whatever the daily inspiration, and even the messages from the app. You will see me share it in my stories, or you will see me post it to my timeline. It's because I understand how negative the world can be. And I know that when you come across that post, that when you're feeling some type of way, you see a post that has some type of encouragement, you like, okay, I needed that. And you will take it in. Like, I do that. When I'm feeling a certain type of way, I'll go and listen to all the inspiration, child. I will go and turn on some Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe. I actually have his book. It's sitting up there, but you really can't see it. It's kind of cut off on the screen. But, yeah, I will get into reading my Bible, doing affirmations, listening to different people who will pour into me, which is really key. And I talked about that on a live that I did about who are you listening to. I actually talked about it in quite a few lives. So go on my YouTube channel, Tiana Nichelle. Yeah, The Visionary. It's on there. Go look at previous conversations, child. I've been doing this for 2 years. 2 years. I cannot believe that I've been doing this for 2 years. But back to what I was saying. You cannot allow other people who are just as imperfect as you, or who have never constructed anything, to tell you what you should and should not be doing. You have to make up in your mind, when you're going through your transformation, that you are going to be steadfast in what you are doing. You are not going to allow other people to knock you off your square, to make you feel inadequate. That is not what we're doing in this season. Fall in love with your process, okay? Some of you, hello. I'm sorry, guys, for all of you all who have joined, and I don't know who this person is that's trying to come on here, but we not doing that. But I want you to walk away with this feeling empowered, encouraged to push through, because what your journey looks like is not what the next person's journey looks like. I'm going to tell you this. In 2019, I went to Judy Dropping Knowledge Conference. I don't know if you are familiar with Judy. Judy is now married to DeBrad. Back then, she was not. She was dating some dude. I don't know. But she had a whole business conference, and her business conference, because I looked at her business, you know, she has Kaleidoscope hair products, and I was like, wow, you know, this girl is really going places. And at this time is around the 1 year anniversary of Bella Lux, which is the beauty business that is now House in the Shea, that I have done a whole transformation to, which you all will be able to get those products at the end of the year. But it was Bella Lux. So at this time, I was building it, and I was like, okay, you know, I want this company to, like, I had so many dreams. I had wrote down my whole business plan for Bella Lux, what I wanted to look like, and I wanted it to be in a brick and mortar. There was a whole, like, vision of how I wanted it to be, the products that I wanted to offer. And I came in it with the goal of making women feel gorgeous and having the affirmations that go along with it, right? Now you have all these beauty companies that's doing it now after the pandemic, and everybody started doing what everybody else was doing, but nobody was doing this when I got started. And so I invested, and it's the other part. When you are going through your process, you have to really invest in what it is that you want, what it is because you need the business mentors, you need people that's gonna pour into you, and sometimes that costs money. I think my ticket for that event was like $199 or something. Like, I did the VIP, whatever it was. I wanted to sit down and talk to this lady, so I got that. And during this time, though, I'm going to say my plate was so full. Like, it was so full, y'all. Because at this time, I was going for my doctorate, and I had just, like, Bella Lux had hit a year. I was working full time, of course, and doing the family stepmom thing. It was a lot going on, child. Like, my plate was so full that I didn't even have space to, like, think, including, like, I was doing stuff for my sister because she was in classes and all. Like, it was a lot going on. But that lady was like, you are doing too much. This is what she said to me. She was like, girl, you're going to have to choose. Like, you cannot do school and build a business at the same time, because both require a lot, and you already stretched. And so I was like, she's like, why are you in school? And I said, well, I wanted to get a doctorate in public administration. That's been my zhuzh, because I wanted to get, a better job in government. I wanted to get law school paid for, because it's been the goal to go to law school. And so she was like, so you want to go to law school and you want to build a beauty business? And I was like, yes, ma'am. I want to do it all. She was like, well, you're going to have to decide, because it's difficult to build a business. And she was the first real coach. Like, I had a business coach before, but I felt like it was a waste of money. I actually had a couple business coaches during the 2019 time. But when I had the event planning business, that coach was a waste of my money and my time. That's all I'm going to say, child. I wasted my money and my time. I need that back. But God is a God of restoration, so I'm going to get it back tenfold. But during that time that I was sitting down with her, and she was like, you're stretched. you really need to look at if, which is more important to you. Building this business or going to school. It's hard to do both because it requires so much of your time. And in that first year, I would say it did require quite a bit of my time because I always was like, and this was before I even like I had the website, but everything was not online because we had not had the pandemic yet, baby. So, most of the stuff that I was doing was in person. So I was literally taking orders to people, and I was shipping orders locally. And so things were a little bit different for me. Even though it was a challenge, I was just like, I'm going to be all right. And so, like, she was giving me some really, really good advice based on her experience. Now, she has a multi-million-dollar business. And she was going from the standpoint of what it took for her to get to where she is, and I really appreciated that. But in my mind, I'm like, I could do it all. Like, I could do this. Child, when that bad boy, when life started to shut down, and we went into the whole pandemic mode, and things was online, baby. Let me tell you, that whole online situation had me stressed out because the orders are coming in. They was coming in faster than I could fulfill them. A lot of the stuff, like, I wanted up running out of stuff because my inventory was coming. I had inventory that came in from overseas and inventory that came in from other states. The post office was jacked up. Y'all already know. Things was going bonkers, and I was still in school. Like, I was still in school at this time, and I was just like, this is not gonna work. So what she said to me actually came back to me, and I was just like, yo, it's a lot. It's a lot. But when I think back though, I enjoyed creating something that I loved. Why did I get into Bella Lux? Why did I create Bella Lux? Because for two reasons. One, I wanted to empower women at any age and size to be beautiful, that you are gorgeous. That was number one. Number two is I wanted to offer hair options that were really good quality because I had experienced my own hair journey to where I had gone through some things like in 2010, 2011, 2012, and I had lost motor function in my arms. If I'm being transparent, which I've actually talked about this before, but there was some things that happened, and I winded up almost dying and lost a gang of blood. And so the aftermath was a lot of different things transpiring, and one of the things was I lost motor function to where I couldn't hold my hands up to do my hair. So I started wearing wigs around that time, and it was a lot because nobody was really wearing wigs. So that started my journey as getting things that were quality, trying to find things that worked. And it was bad out here, child. Like, these companies, these Asian people didn't even know what they were selling. I would ask questions. They ain't know nothing. They still don't know nothing. And we in 2023. Almost 10 years. Well, yeah, 10 years later. It's been over 10 years, but whatever. So, through that journey, it inspired me to want to offer things that were quality for women and make them feel gorgeous, affirm them, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's why I created that company. Well, I thought about that whole process and the changes and things like that, because like once my sister passed, because she actually passed August of 2020, and so I had to put a pin in my business because I was grieving child. Like, and here's the other part. I realized like I didn't have nobody that could run the business for me because I was the one man show. So I was filling orders on the website. I was putting the products up, keeping the inventory, updating the inventory on the website, shipping out the orders, the little printing out like the little inserts and all of that kind of stuff. I created the box, which I'll show y'all the box. I don't know if everybody has seen my company, but you can go in my timeline and go back, like go down. You will be able to see Bella Lux, or if you click Bella Lux, it might pop up on Facebook, but it's not gonna pop up on Instagram because it's now House and Shay. So you will see some Bella Lux stuff on House and Shay, but that is actually going to shift completely. But things didn't look the same, so it made me wish that I had a team that could still run everything while I was going through my process. So that was something that I learned. It was a learning experience. And so I say all that to say your journey is not going to look like somebody else's. It is going to be different. It's going to come with so many twists and turns, and it's okay. It is okay. Like, you can't allow yourself to get discouraged. You just fall in love with the process, because the process is where the lessons come in at. When things don't necessarily go as planned, that's when the lessons come in at. That's when your mind gets to going and you start revamping things. And you're like, okay, well, maybe I need to do this. Try it all, honey. I'm going to say that. When you have something that you want to do, go forth and do it. Don't listen to people who have never constructed anything, never done anything, and out here, because child, people be lying in these social media streets talking about they got all of this and that they done did, and they ain't did not a one thing, baby. And so you got to be quite careful, because if they can't tell you the whole process, if you ask them, okay, how did you create your business structure? Is it an LLC? Ask them that. Is it a partnership? When did you file your articles of incorporation, or how did you go about that process? Because I need to know. Like, start asking questions. People be whole fronting out here like they done did all of this stuff, baby. Every single website that I have created, I have constructed myself. I have receipts, honey. So I have created businesses for other folks, honey. I got receipts out here. I ain't got the front or stunt on that one. But I can tell you my whole process, even creating my business cards, even looking for the products, how it took time to look for the products to get in my store. That was a whole process. And I spent like $10,000. If anybody tells you that they started a business and they ain't spend no money creating that business, they lie. They ain't got no business, because you got to put some money into that bad boy before you see your first penny you would have had to put into that. And that's the other part. Before you get a return on your investment, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to invest, and it's got to be personal. And you got to fall in love with that personal process, because it's not going to feel good at first, because you're looking like, man, it's just so much money going out. But at the same time, it's like, look at what you're building. Look at what you're constructing. You doing this on your own. You are doing things that everybody is not doing. And don't look at the people who came up allegedly overnight, like they got 1 year in with their business. And they're like, oh, it was just a success. Everybody don't necessarily experience that. You don't know how much money that they had in order to invest. You don't know how much help they had in order to get to that point. So that's the other part. When you have the help, and you have a team, and you're coming in and you got big bucks, it can be easier. But if you're doing all this stuff yourself, baby, even an advertisement, I had to figure out the advertisement. So that means I had to figure out algorithms, child, to social media. I had to sit up and watch videos on how to advertise on Facebook and how to connect my Facebook to my Instagram and connect, because there's a business, there's a business side to these platforms, which all goes through Facebook. And so I had to figure that part out, connecting all of these different businesses to this one thing, child. I can show you though. I can show you what it looked like though, because I've done it. So what I'm saying is, even though the process of all of that stuff was grueling, it was worth it. And I enjoyed every minute of touching a product, looking at packaging, making sure my boxes were nice, because I wanted everything to be quality. So when my customers opened it up, they would love it. Like, that was always the goal. And have something that was inspirational on the inside. Maybe it said hello beautiful or hello gorgeous. I also offered like discount codes. That was before people started doing this. Like, you talking about 2018, 2019. I actually created Bella Lux in 2018. But I'm saying this because I want you to understand that wherever you are in your process, love it. No matter how hard it might look, no matter if you're not making one dime, no matter if nobody's looking at that video that you created, if nobody bought, your bag, or if nobody acknowledged whatever the journey is, the transformational journey that you've made for yourself. Maybe you have decided to change your ways, be a better person, have a relationship with God. Maybe you've decided to let go of old habits that you had. All of those things. Do it. Fall in love with it. Go with the journey. It's not going to be easy. It's not cookie cutter. Stop allowing people to judge you for where you are because they're in a different place, or maybe they don't understand where you are. It's okay. We ain't all got to do the same thing the same way, because God did not create us that way. God did not create us to be uniminds. He did not create us to please other people. We're supposed to be pleasing to Him. And here's the other part. While people sitting here judging you and they ain't ever constructed nothing, and you putting your hard work, sweat, and tears and everything you're pouring into whatever the thing is that you're trying to do, God sees that. He honors that. He honors how you are and how you're going along in your process, because He looks at the heart. Man looks at the appearance, but He looks at your heart and how you are humbly serving or giving in to whatever the process is. He looks at that and He is pleased when you are transforming and creating. He created this whole entire universe, baby. So He has given us the power to create. When you are in creating mode, beautiful things happen. Beautiful, beautiful things happen. When you are in transformation mode, beautiful things happen. And it's okay. Like, be the person that you were meant to be and stop trying to please other people. Stop trying to please people that ain't never did anything a day in their life. They ain't constructed nothing. They don't have anything. And I know it's a couple people on here who are actually business owners. And they can actually attest to, because of the things that they have gone through in their own business and the twists and the turns and stuff like that. So they can attest to that. What are you saying? I'm not answering that request. But that whole process of going through you, whatever your journey looks like, embrace it. Embrace everything. Embrace how you look. If it's weight loss, child. If it's where you are maybe, wanting to correct some things with yourself. Maybe you want to correct your teeth or you want to correct your face. Just do it. Do whatever it is that makes you truly happy and fall in love with that process. Don't try to fast track that process of whatever it is that you want to do, because then you miss the lessons that come along with that process. You wind up missing the whole thing. Like, when you fast track, you forget like how you got there. But when you actually going through it piece by piece and building it piece by piece, you're actually like, okay, I started and I didn't have anything. Like, I created nothing. I created something out of nothing. That is bomb. Like, I know people don't use bomb, but whatever. That's bomb. When you create and construct something out of nothing, that is like amazing. You should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself in every stage and phase that you are in your life that is making you better. You should be proud. I'm proud of you. God's proud of you. He sees you. Don't let nobody tell you differently. Don't let nobody sit up here and talk you out of your dreams. Don't let nobody act like what you're doing is an issue or question what you are doing. A lot of times people that have not done anything will question everything that you got going on because they can't believe that you have the confidence to do it when they didn't have the confidence to do one thing. So fall in love with that process. Go ahead and do what it is that makes you smile, that makes you glow, that makes you feel accomplished, whatever that thing is, and love every minute and every second of it. If it is, like I was saying before, if it was weight loss, a lot of people, we go through this whole, okay, it's the new year, these New Year's resolutions and all of this other stuff, and people are like, I can eat this summer body. But how about wanting a healthy body? You got all of these women out here, and I'll talk about this on a previous live, that went and got all of this surgery, and they done experienced all types of shenanigans behind these surgeries, okay? They got all of this silicone and all this extra stuff put in their bodies. Now they want this stuff to be out, or they're going through all of this different pain and whatever else because they was trying to fast track whatever the process is. You ain't gotta do all that. You don't have to do all that. Like, I will actually put up a picture because I've been on this journey with weight loss for a minute. It has had its ups and downs, and I wasn't gonna share it, but a couple people, even a few people that I mentored, was like, you need to share this publicly. And I was like, I don't know. I might. I'm talking about it now, but it's real. For me, it's really personal. Like, but I understand why they're saying that, because everything that I talk about is things to help other people. So I'm a big believer that things that we go through is to help someone else. And so I guess that it could help other people. So I'm just going to do a real quick story time. So after that whole medical situation that I talked about, 2010, 11, 12, I was at over 400 pounds at that time. And so, because I was also the woman with the blood issue, that's a whole nother story. I talk about it. It's in one of these lives It's on the YouTube channel, whatever. So it was a lot. Like, I was on all these different medications, which was birth control, different steroids, because they was trying to figure out how to control it. And in the process, I'm dealing with depression and all this other stuff. So the weight is just going up, whatever. So in 2015, I decided to lose weight because I was graduating with my master's that October. So in April, actually, of 2015, I was like, I am going to get my booty in shape, okay? So, but I did it for graduation purposes. Like, I just wanted to be cute walking across the stage. And I lost weight. It actually came off quickly because I was working out twice, sometimes 3 times a day. And I was doing the green smoothie cleanse, like every couple weeks. And then I would double up on my protein, double up on my vegetables, all that kind of stuff. So it was like dropping, right? So we get to graduation. Okay, yay, I graduated. I'm cute, whatever. And I was still exercising, but I had fallen back into, let me snack here, let me do this. So and then I kind of fell back on the exercise because the person that I was actually with at that time did not exercise at all, nor was they health conscious. So that kind of did me a disservice because I wound up getting lax in my routine. So long story short, gain weight just creep back up. We go into the pandemic at home, isolated. Sister dies. She dies that Tuesday. I was hospitalized that Thursday with COVID. It was child. It was a lot. So the crazy part is, 2 weeks before that, I had started this whole weight loss thing where I was on a detox. It's actually, the doctor was like, that's how you got sick, because we're in a pandemic and you decided to detox. Your body needed nutrients and you were really stripping it. So that is how you got sick. So anyways, at that time, of course, I had gained weight. I was almost back at my starting weight from years ago, and it was a hot mess. So fast forward, because I was dealing with a lot of complications from having COVID, like I couldn't work out, I couldn't walk. Like, let me tell you, it did a number on my heart and my lungs. I couldn't walk from my bed to my bathroom, and it's like right there together, literally. I couldn't walk. Like, I have a path in my apartment complex. I couldn't walk down the path, which is a path that I walked for the last like 5 years at that point. And I couldn't do that. Couldn't carry groceries. Couldn't walk around the store. I couldn't do jack, okay? So it just made the process so much more difficult. And I just was still grieving. It was a lot, whatever the case may be. So in 2022, I made the decision. I said, you know what? I am going to get myself together because I am 38 and I want to be able to do a lot of different things. And plus, my dad died at 43, so I was kind of like, I'm getting closer to that age, so I kind of want to preserve myself. So I was like, let me go ahead and start this process. Actually, it was the end of 2021, if I'm being honest. It was like December of 2021 when I did my first weigh-in, and I was like, oh my God, like, I cannot believe that I gained this much weight, child. So from that January on, I was on my journey, and I was doing and I talk to God every day. That's the other part. While you on whatever journey you are, whoever you answer to, I answer to God. Whoever, I can't even say because I don't know nothing about nobody else but God. So I'm just going to say for me, I talked to God and I was like, look, I need you to give me discipline. I need you to give me determination in this area. I need you to keep me focused in this area because this is the area that I struggled in. And I've been heavy my whole life. So I don't know anything differently. But I was at my heaviest and I was just like, nope, I got to do something different. So every morning I pray for discipline. And I'm telling you, he has been faithful in that because your girl was 100 pounds heavier. Your girl has lost 100 pounds already and still losing. And I could talk about that process. I'll probably talk about that come June or something in detail. But I pray for discipline every day, and it's not hard. I mean, not hard. It is hard. It's very hard. It's very hard because your body wants to do what it wants to do. Whatever you've been doing for the last 20 years is what you want to do. And so it becomes a thing where you're like fighting for the transformation versus the old version of you. And that's a lot of the times where we get caught up because we slip back into the old ways of doing things instead of leaning into the process of transformation and whatever that looks like. But it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing at all, and it's okay that it's not easy. And so I'm really like grateful for where I am in that process. And so I just want you to be encouraged to be grateful for where you are, wherever you are, whatever you have decided to change, whatever you have decided to create, whatever you decided to do that's different from 3 months ago, 6 months ago. That's all that matters. And I want you to be okay with where you are. As long as you're not the old version of yourself that was maybe depressed or in a dark place or, in a place wondering if you're enough or if you are Lord Jesus. Sorry guys, my phone is actually ringing. Anyways, so when you're going through your transformation, you really have to be intentional about who you are allowing in your space because you don't need anything that's going to knock you off your square at all. Like, you really need to find some people who are going to root for you and not judge you for where you are, and they will join in your process. That's the other part. People be wanting you to help them with what they got going on and won't even do the same for you. Child, they want you to advertise products. They want you to be at all the events. They want you to, go wherever they go and do whatever they do. But then when you ask for help on your end, crickets, right? You don't need that. Like, you need people that's going to be active, that's going to root for you. You say, hey, I got this going on, they're going to show up. Hey, I'm feeling like this, they're going to send you a text message, they're going to call, they're going to something. You reach out with whatever it is that you might be dealing with, going through, and they're going to be there. You got something that you created, they're going to be there. I even talk about that. The reason why I support people in business, and this was even before I had started my business. I was supporting people in business. I didn't even know what that looks like, but I was just like, let me just go ahead and buy what they got, whatever. It wasn't a big deal. But lo and behold, like, I wound up starting my businesses, and I didn't necessarily receive the same support from those same individuals. I will say that. So, but I still buy products. I still will go to whatever the event is. I will, if I got to create a flyer, honey, if I got to do some labels, if I gotta help you pack your inventory, that's the type of person I am now. Ask about me. If you don't believe it, it's not a big deal at all. But you need people like that. That's the point. I'm not talking about me. It's not a me conversation. You need people like that in your life because it helps you to do what it is that you need to do, and you feel supported in it. You feel confident in it when you have people that actually are rooting for you on a regular basis. You also need people that's gonna pray for you and pray for you consistently. Like, you need that. You need that support because, and then you don't need people talking out of two sides of their neck. You got to be leery of them people. Like, if a person is going to support you, there are people that will support you in your face and then talk about you behind your back. You got to pray for some spiritual discernment on that front because that's not something that you need either. But God will remove people who are like that from your life when you ask. Yo. And it's okay. And it is okay. Because then he'll send people just like that's what he's doing right now for me. Like, he's removed people who questioned what I was doing. Why do you want to just focus on the nonprofit? Because that's what God was telling me to do. Because when people meet me and they're excited to meet me and I'm pouring into them and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I never forget the lady that was crying. Like, she was boo-hooing. Like, this, we need more people like you. I'm grateful that you created this. All of this stuff, like, this stuff is a mental reminder when I am struggling. Me and my mom just had this conversation. There are times, child, because I know that my calling is really, really big, and God has already revealed a lot of things to me. And so it's like, when you going through those tough times where you're like, okay, just like I had the luncheon, and everybody didn't sign up that said that they would. I needed at least 50 bodies in that seat. I didn't have 20 bodies, okay? And so I'm like, I already paid for this venue and all of this stuff. This is me being real honest. And I'm like, all of these parents that I talked to said they needed this information. They were all ecstatic, and now when it comes down to it, they don't want to pay for it. Well, honey, things cost. So I felt discouraged. I'm not going to lie. I felt so discouraged about not being able to do that event in March. And so even after talking to these parents, and they was just like, well, we really didn't have it, and I'm like, but y'all got money to go to McDonald's, y'all got money to do all of this other stuff, but this is really information that you need for you and your kid, and also you need community when it comes to having a child with special needs. Like, you need a community, a face-to-face community, because a lot of us go through that by ourselves. There are a lot of Black people that have children with disabilities who feel like they're in isolation because nobody around them has a child with disabilities. And so then you are looking like, well, I need this, but then you don't show up for the free 99 stuff, or you don't show up for the paid stuff. Like, when I did the supply drive and I had it in Tinley, like when they were supposed to pick up the supplies from Tinley Park. Now it's been mobile. It was mobile in 2020, 2021. 2022, I I did Kindness Day with and partner with South Suburban Special Recreation. And the black parents the black parents that I had given the flyers to was like, yeah, I'll be there. Now, mind you, I'm in the suburbs of the Chicagoland area. Like, I'm in the suburbs. So, they were like, oh, we're going to be there, whatever. So, the black parents that was there, they was looking at the supplies like, oh, it's, we already started getting in school supplies or her school supplies. But the white people was grabbing up the supplies, the snacks, child, the everything, okay? And then I was like, what is going on? But then when I went to the schools, here's the kicker. When I went to the schools for individuals with disabilities, I went to the different schools. All of these administrators and all these different people was like, the kids didn't have book bags, didn't have school supplies, didn't have this, that, and the other. So guess what your girl did? She gave the schools the school supplies. And the crazy part is, I had gone to the school and gave away flyers to those parents. So why y'all ain't show up? Or why y'all ain't reach out? I don't know what be going on with these suburban black people, I'm gonna just say. But if I had gone to the city, I would have had no supplies. Like in 10 minutes, them things would have been gone. But that was really crazy. But I was able to help a lot of kids, and these schools are like, we need more supplies because we have more kids that need it. And I'm just like, okay. Like, they had tapped me out, child. Like, people that donated, and I was so ecstatic that people donated. And it really, like, helped these kids. And so my mom actually reminded me of that. Like, I had a goal of just being able to serve like 150, and I wind up doing over 400. And so when she reminded me of that when I was feeling some type of way about the event not happening the way that I thought it was going to happen, it just reminded me of the impact, because the administrators, the teachers, the nurses, everybody that was on staff at these different schools was like, thank you so much. You don't know how much of a blessing you are being to us, because we were sitting here trying to figure out how we were going to do this, because we can't even assign homework because the kids do not even have the tools to complete their homework with. And we sending their their homework in plastic bags. They were showing me the plastic bags, child, that they were sending these supplies in. I was grateful to help. That's all I'm saying. So this has not been an easy journey. None of these businesses that I created, this nonprofit, Lord knows it was hard, because not having my sister here, and I started it with her, has been the most challenging thing. But to hear people and the impact that I've made, even people that I'm on a board for, they're like, we admire the fact that because I'm on the board for the National Association for Down Syndrome, we admire the fact that you are still on the board, you're active, you're going to the events, you're doing things, and your sister is not here. Like, we really admire your strength. We really are, like, blown away by how you show up. And it makes a difference, y'all. Like, those words make a difference. There's you can't see it, but behind me, there was a letter that a parent actually wrote me that I framed when she met my sister. And she was saying how much she really appreciated the work that I was doing. You need that when things are going left and everything is not working out the way that you want it. Remember the words of people that say, yo, your product was so dope. You know, yo, like, you doing your thing. Remember them words. If you don't have nobody around you, in the moments where you feeling at your lowest point or whatever the case may be. Remember them words of them customers when they send them reviews in and they say like, this was an amazing product. She got to me like, I got it before it was expected. The packaging was so nice. Let me tell you, when I did Bella Lux and this lady did a whole video, I didn't even know this lady was going to do a whole video for my business, y'all. I just shipped out her order. She ordered up all these lashes, and I shipped it out. And she did a whole video of her opening the box. When I tell you, that just like brought tears to my eyes because I invested $10,000 into that business before I saw my first dollar. So that for me was like, I felt grateful in that moment. Because she was just like, it just made her feel beautiful. The packaging, because at that time I had like the real like gold. I don't even know if I got, no, I put it up because we going through the whole revamp and it's now House in the Shea. But the inside had gold wrapping. And it was like this bright metallic beautiful gold. So when you open it up, it's like a wow factor, right? And so she was talking about how she enjoyed the packaging and stuff like that. That stuff make a difference, y'all. So for those of y'all who are in the business arena, every single customer review that you have, write that stuff down. When your customers acknowledge something that you've done, type it out. I want you to make a list of all of the feedback that you receive, because a lot of times customers are not going to give a review on your website. A lot of people are not really like big on that. Although it helps us, they don't see the benefit. But when they tell you verbally, write it down. Write it down and build that whole thing up. And I would say even put it pretty on some type of paper or whatever the case may be, and frame it for yourself. So when you got them days that you feeling discouraged, you feeling down, you whatever, put it back wherever your workstation is so that you can see, I'm dope. Like, this person said this. Like, I'm doing this for a purpose. I'm changing people's lives. Whatever it is that you're doing, even when you're doing it for yourself, write down them affirmations. I'm lit. I'm intelligent. I'm wise. I'm bold. I'm confident. I'm beautiful. I'm handsome. I'm whatever those affirmations that you need, and put it wherever you view the most. So if you're in a bathroom the most, for those who be in the bathroom, in the mirror, stick it on your mirror. Wherever you are in your space, in your house the most, put those things there as a reminder, because you're not going to always have people around you to remind you, to help you when you are going through those struggle moments, or those times where you feel like, okay, what I didn't make $1 this week. Like, what's really going on? I didn't, this didn't happen the way that I thought. I didn't book this. Whatever the case may be. Baby, at the end, it's all going to be beautiful and it's all going to work out. And you're going to be able to track your progress, your process. For those of you all who are on your spiritual transformation journeys or mental transformation journeys, track your progress. Get a journal. I had started, I got actually several journals around these parts, right? But like, write down all of the different things that you have been through. And this is not for you to get like, oh my God, like my life is horrible. No, because I'm vocal about all the things that have happened in my life. And even though those were some difficult times, it has made me into a beautiful person where I am more compassionate and more understanding of people's situations, and I can walk through situations with people And that is something that God can only give you. All of these people that be talking about they life coaches and all this other stuff that ain't walked through nothing and ain't walked through nothing that was life changing, life altering. It's like, how can you tell somebody about anything if you ain't never been shook to your core? How can you talk about grief if you haven't experienced grief? How can you talk about breakups and heartbreaks or whatever the case if you never experienced it? If your whole life has just been, all hunky-dory, then how can you talk somebody through a real process? This is not textbook stuff. This is not scripted stuff. This has to be genuinely from your heart, and that's what you actually need when you are looking for counselors or life coaches or whatever. You need people that have actually walked through some ish, because they can help you through your ish. They really can. But when you are going through those different transformations, you have to always affirm yourself so that you stay on track, because the people in your circle may not even understand your journey. It's not for them to understand. It's a you journey. It's a you and God journey, and that's it. There's no need for explanation as to however you're moving. Just fall in love with you and that whole process. And in the end, it's all going to work out, and it's all going to be so beautiful. And I'm just encouraging you to do whatever it is, child, that you want to do to become the best version of you, to accomplish whatever the heck it is that you want to accomplish out here. Don't put no limitations on yourself. Don't think that because you didn't go to school and get 50,000 degrees, child, that you are not qualified to do certain things. No, you are qualified. When God calls you to do something, you qualified. You don't need all that. And you talking to somebody who's got degrees. It's not necessary. It's not necessary, baby. It's not. Because the businesses that I built didn't even require the degrees. They didn't require it. I got them, but it didn't require it. What it did require was me to confer with God, come up with a business plan, and execute that bad boy. That's what it required. Even creating that mobile app, that was not even a plan. I have no blueprint for that. That was all God-given. And you can go look at my mobile app. The mobile app has been in the App Store since 2019, Empowered Society. And that was all God-given. I didn't plan on creating that. But when people were saying that they needed to find resources, they needed to find things to help them with their child that had a disability, their grandchild that had a disability, they needed to know what resources and services were in the area. They needed all of these different things. And I was like, okay, girl, you're hearing this. And I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? That's how my mind went. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to do something with this. And I wasn't so sure in the first, like when I first started that, I wasn't so sure. But then God put all the pieces together from the mobile app company. He had me to sit down and create the image of how I wanted it to look, the layout and everything, which I'm telling you, like, that's all God-given. And then linking with these different organizations and different businesses that wanted to, when I reached out to them, I'm like, hey, I have a mobile app directory for individuals with disabilities and their families. Is offering them, showing them what services and resources are in their area. Would you like to be listed? These people was like, yeah, like, this is wonderful. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. But it's been a lot of, this is so wonderful, and so I'm grateful because it was all God-given. And every day, because I wanted to make sure that I pour into parents and caretakers. Every day there's an inspirational a motivational or empowering message on there. You might even get it twice a day. But that 6 a.m., there's a message up there. And so I was very intentional with that because I know that that's necessary. When you first wake up, you need to set the tone for your day. So how you set the tone for your day is to fill your cup before you go pouring into other people. By that, I mean wake up early enough to look at a message like that, to maybe pray if that's what you do. I pray. Some people might meditate and pray. Read your word. Read a book that's going to pour into you first thing in the morning. So find a book that might talk about purpose or potential or mindset renewal or something along those lines. I actually have a book that I wrote that has that. And I'm grateful to the people that actually purchased that book. That was 2 years ago when I wrote that book. So I'm grateful for that. And that's a whole mindset shift. But in the mornings, be intentional about what you're putting into yourself. So you got to pour into yourself before you go get them kids up, so that your mind is like renewed and you're like ready for your day. That's very necessary. So make sure that you do that. And before you even, if you don't have kids, like just before you get your day started so that you can have a better day and a more positive outlook, pour into yourself first. Fill your cup up early in the morning, 5:30. And then now you've created a different mindset. Even I used to write down what I'm grateful for. Now I just say it out loud. I'm grateful for, the life that God has given me. I'm grateful for the apartment that he gave me. I'm grateful for the people that he's surrounded me with. I'm grateful for all of the creative ideas and the businesses that have been birthed, that he has blessed me with, the vision that he has given me. I am grateful. Like I say my gratitude things out loud, and it helps me to have joy even when I'm pissed off about something pertaining to maybe work or something. So it helps. So with that, fall in love with the process of becoming the person that you are called to be. Fall in love with the process of every aspect of your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, child. Because in the end, it's all going to be beautiful. You're going to be able to share your story. You're going to be able to pour into other people. And you didn't even think that you would, like, I'm sitting here and you talking about somebody that didn't even like talking to people, okay? And I have, through these conversations, have helped so many people. People hit my inbox and DM and be asking for advice, and I give it to them. I don't charge everybody that I come across, especially because I do it out of, I know and I can feel that this is needed. I can feel what they're going through when they start sharing. So everything is not monetary. That's why I do these lives, because you get all of this stuff for the free 99. And now if you want one-on-ones and all these different sessions, then you have to pay for that stuff. But I do this because this is what I know I'm supposed to be doing. And when people come back and tell me how I have helped them, I'm so grateful, because this is not the person that I used to be. And old people that were a part of my life can attest to, this is not the person that I used to be. I was mean. Sorry, guys. I was mean. I have repented, and I have asked for forgiveness to people. So we are all past that point. But I'm telling you that eventually you will be able to do this same thing. If you're not doing it already, your story and your process When you fall in love with it, you will remember all of the pieces. Even journal. I'm going to tell y'all that before I get off of here. Journal your life, because that might be just your life story that you would write out, and it would be a best-selling book, honey. You got a best-selling book inside of you. So journal out everything that you have gone through, your whole entire process, and this will be something that will help someone else. I never thought that I would be the person that helps other people in this way through my own struggles and everything. But God uses imperfect people. Yeah, he did it time and time again in the Bible. Everybody was imperfect. All them people was doing. You can't find me a person in the Bible that was perfect. Child, they did not exist. Okay, so all of these people that are talking about this perfection, it does not exist. Go with the process. Commune with God. Get your soul in alignment with Him, and execute everything, all of the visions and dreams that He has given you. And with that, I will see you Thursday. You all have a great night. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions that you would like answered, if it could be life, it can be business, whatever. If you want to volunteer to help, or if you want to donate for Empower Society, you can message me or email contact@empowersociety21.org. Yeah, and just say what you're needing or what you're asking. So I will see you all Thursday. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.